Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss The Hills Have Eyes 2, starring Michael McMillian, Jessica Stroup, Jacob Vargas, and Flex Alexander, and directed by Martin Weiss. Now, I did see this in theaters, but is it as bad as everybody says it is? Let's get into it and we'll find out. We open with but I believe it's one of the worst, by the way, before I get in there. We open with such a disgusting scene where some pregnant woman gets out a baby and one of the cannibals takes it out of it on his own. And I'm thinking, how much more disgusting can this movie series get? And the cannibal kills the mother, and I thought, what the fuck was the point of that scene? To gross people out? And we get some scientists killed, and again, what's the point? It is highly unnecessary. We get a training group with Napoleon, played by Michael McMillian, Amber, played by Jessica Stroup, Sarge, played by Flex Alexander, Crank, played by Jacob Vargas, as well as Missy, Johnson, Han, Delmar, Splitter, and Stump. Is all I got the names of throughout the movie. And there's too many characters in here, honestly. And I hate every single fucking character in this movie. As they go to where the scientists are and are left for dead in the middle of the hills, and none of this is working for me. I know this thing is a piece of shit. Like, does it want to be a war movie or a horror movie? Because I don't think the movie knows what it wants to be. It's just like Pitch Perfect 3, where it doesn't know whether it wants to be what it wants to be. It doesn't make like a musical or a comedy or an action movie. It doesn't make any sense. Some troops go to the search and rescue for some scientists, while Napoleon and Amber stay behind to call for help. And these motherfuckers have guns. Why do they need to call for help? That's another thing that doesn't make any sense to me. One of the soldiers named Mickey, that's another one I forgot about, by the way. Fuck. Gets his leg injured, and he walks back to camp with an injured leg. And the real problem is, how is he supposed to make it back? And shockingly enough, he does, which is so goddamn stupid. Because his leg has probably gotten worse at that point. That was just a problem from the get go. Meanwhile, Napoleon and Amber find someone in the porta potty, while Napoleon takes a dump in it, which is disgusting and stupid since there's no porta potties in war, based on what Flex says. Or Sarge, excuse me, Sarge. And the man they found was a scientist. And why am I talking about the military men and women for a horror movie? I'm here to see them die, and it's baffling we don't get it until later in the movie. And as I'm about 30 minutes into it, and there's no deaths, it's unbelievably bad. Amber wants to catch up with the others, and she finds Mickey with an injured leg, and Amber gets attacked by a cannibal, and a different cannibal kills Mickey in the tunnels, and it's about time we got a fucking kill. I mean, Jesus Christ, this is the worst I've seen in the series, by far. They find some dead scientists out of the blue, and as one is already dead, and Sarge gets shot, and one is barely alive, as later he shoots himself right off the bat. And I'm ready to move on with my life as I'm turned off with 50 minutes of movie left. I mean, I don't want to watch this anymore. Even worse than the original and its sequel, as well as the remake. I can't handle this series at this point. Napoleon and Amber show up with the group of and help get Splitter, with Sarge going down as the ropes cut off, and kill Spitter. Excuse me. I thought it was Splitter. Whatever. And the rest of Sarge, and they crawl down the hills, and they bump into a barely alive scientist as he shoots himself, as he tells the soldiers go through a cave to make it alive, and they bait Amber and Missy to kill one of the cannibals, and Missy gets captured by another cannibal while she takes a leak. Which, how much farther can you go with the bodily fluids versus disgusting gore? This is fucking preposterous. One of the soldiers goes back for help while the rest go in the cave to find Misty while she gets raped by one of the cannibals. And I thought, oh great, do we need another Last House on the Left? I personally don't think so. They go down some slides while the soldier that left gets killed deservedly. So and and they find light to get out with one problem. It's still a little ways down to the point I could kill them. It could kill them, I should say, not me, but Amber and Napoleon get stuck on the bottom of while Crank and Stump are. I don't remember the fucker's name. There's too many goddamn characters. What the fuck do you want me to tell you? Are up top and they try to find them. Meanwhile, Napoleon and Amber encounter a cannibal, which doesn't act like them, by the way, which is so stupid, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. The violence in this movie is absolutely fucking horrendous. Crank and Stump, or whoever the fuck that is, shoot up a cannibal and they're out of ammo and find Napoleon and Amber with the unlikely cannibal who led them the way out, and Stump was hit twice and dies, and the unlikely cannibal leads them the way out. And some more. And Napoleon and Amber go back to get Missy, and Crank blows up with himself up with dynamite, which was really dumb. Napoleon and Amber do find Missy and distract the cannibal with her phone to get her out of torture, and they fight the cannibal until Napoleon makes the ultimate stab, while Amber picks his shot up, brain, and they stab the cannibal and hit him in the hammer in the nuts, which has gotta hurt, and that killed them. And they get out alive, and I don't like this climax. And I was ready to move on, and I was glad this was all over. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 1.0 out of 10. This movie is the worst I've seen, along with the Child's Play remake, and the violence is, again, fucking horrendous. I was disgusted by it, with bodily leaking and dumping, and other types of gore. And I was just waiting to turn this goddamn thing off because this wasn't worth my time. None of these movies were worth my time. And whatever you do, stay the fuck away from this movie big time. I'm so glad I'm done with this series. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me for The Hills Have Eyes, even though it was torture for me. And until next time, I'm gonna get you, little girl.